My name is Denise Markonish, and I'm one of the visual arts curators here at MoCA. One of the things that makes MoCA unique is that we're very artist-centric, which means that we're often bringing artists here to do residencies. Because we commission a lot of works and do all of these residencies here, we get to have really engaged periods of working with artists. Sometimes I'll invite an artist to do a show 2 or 3 years before the show is going to happen. So I get to be involved in every moment, from when they first see the space to the first sketches that they might make or ideas that will go into what will be the final product. So it becomes like a laboratory, and then you get to really have these long sustained relationships, and the institution gets to be part of the final work. The buildings at MoCA are often an inspiration for artists. They're not your usual museum buildings that are all big white-walled halls, but because MoCA is a former factory, we really wanted the feel of that past to be present in the building. So, you know, when you look around, there's lots of brick and there's wood floors, and it feels very human. But at the same time, some of the spaces are gigantic, 3 stories high, or the length of a football field. So I think that combination of elements really serves as a spark for many artists, and they often make work that is geared towards this space.
And so she invited me to do the show, and I thought, well, really, how am I going to transfer, you know, these little 1 inch by 1 inch, 1 inch by 2 inch, into something at MoCA, you know, these huge spaces. And this was my chance, I felt, as well, to really prove myself as a fine artist.
When Johnny first came to the space here, he was wowed and said, you know, how can I put my engravings, which are this big, into this humongous space? He didn't have 1,100 pages like Tom did, so he wanted to think of a way of making the installation fit at MoCA. So he spent the time taking the original engravings and translating them into silk screens, and then printing them large on sails, many of which were finished here at the museum and then hung up in the space, so it almost feels as if you can walk through the dictionary yourself. I think the opportunity to have residencies at MoCA is important for artists because it allows them to sort of come out of their studio and have this sort of inspiration of another place, and to also be able to make work that maybe they might not be able to make on their own in their studio, sort of using our resources and the people here. I think it allows their imagination to sort of expand. One of MoCA's strengths is in its personnel. We have great resources here. We have a wood shop, and we have a metal shop, and we have trained technicians who can be on hand to guide artists when they don't know how to make something, or they have questions about how something should get made, or they're here to actually help artists construct things themselves.
But the past couple days, when it's clear that, you know, your crew is able to, oh yeah, we need more wood, sure, we'll cut it to size, no problem, we'll, you know, get the wood and do this. That just, you know, it's just been like the 2 most wonderful days of my artistic career, getting this ready. You know, as I've said to people and to Denise at the start, if I'm like William Fowler Hobson, who had 1 exhibit of his artwork at the Library of Congress, you know, that was the pinnacle of his artistic career. If this is it, this is wonderful.